Not really. Oh.
Well, you know what? Maybe we have to put together a compilation.
I think we do, because I don't know if that was the best
and
one.
people-
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Well, maybe the best is yet to come.
The best is always yet to come.
That's
I
right.
like to think that way. That way I want to wake up. Anyway.
Right? Absolutely. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for today's Universal Connections Oracle Chats. I'm Erin Lee of heavenlymessenger.com, and joining me, as always, is my beautiful friend, Miss Bobbi Rowntree, born medium. Hello, Amanda and Ruth and Chris and Nikita. Wow.
God, that's a groovy name.
It really is. And Deanne, hello. It's wonderful to see you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, hello, Ash.
And Ash. Whew, we are busy and smoking hot today. Yes.
Well, every day.
Obviously. Hello, Linda and Shelly.
Hi. Hello, Shelly. I think I owe Shelly a message. Anyway.
Oh, lovely. And Maxine, thank you. We'll always take the compliment. Maxine,
yes, we will.
Thank
you, Maxine.
Yeah.
Hello, Linda.
Oh, lovely.
How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you. Yeah, I just did a connection with intention on my Facebook page, Heavenly Messenger, and I think we had a lot of fun. I have to admit, my energy got a little low partway through, and I ended up getting a whole pile of spammers on the show, which always, I just hate when they come on because it stresses me out because I don't see them right away. But yeah, I'm good.
Well,
I'm good. How are you? Oh.
And it's a bad energy coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a negative energy weaseling in a little bit. No, weaseling in completely. Hello, Chantel. Hello, Deborah.
Hi,
Hello, Deborah.
wonderful to see you. Yes, and Chantel, to see you again. Chantel was on with me earlier today.
Oh, yeah, seeing you twice.
Yeah.
I think this is a treat, so that's good.
Yeah, at least it's not a punishment. I mean,
it's not like, oh, you again.
Oh, man. What about you, Miss Bobbi? How are you doing today?
I am energetically wonderful.
Yeah.
I am mentally confused. And I'm physically taxed. So but
otherwise,
we got 3 heads. Yeah. That'd be me.
Well, you know what they say? 3 heads are better than 1.
Do they? I think it's
I don't.
I
don't think they do. Yeah, but if 2 heads are better than 1, then 3 heads have to be better than 2.
That's true. That's true. I know going from having 2 kids to having 3 kids was going from I can do this to holy shit.
We won't tell William that.
We won't tell William that. Oh, it wasn't his fault. It was just that suddenly I was terribly outnumbered and I only had 2 hands.
Right. And juggling is
well, you need
easier
to
when you have
children. Like when they're young, you need to be able to because
they're not in the road.
And the minute they come out, all they want to do is go home. Until they're about 3, and then they stop trying to kill themselves all the time. And yeah. Hello, Brenda. That's really loud. I'm sorry.
No, not at all. And hello to Amanda. Pardon me. And Brenda. I actually, several weeks ago after doing the show, my dad and I went out for dinner to a local restaurant. I won't name names. And I actually met Brenda's lovely daughter.
I know exactly where you work. I know where she works. Brenda told me. I don't stalk her, Brenda. Not sorry. You said it.
No, Brenda. She totally does. She totally does.
I do. I stalk all my clients.
Yeah.
Oh, I seem to know so much. Can you imagine?
Exactly.
I would not have enough time to do that.
No.
Let alone having to follow people home.
No.
Sit in their bathroom.
Yeah. That's why the spy cams are much better. No.
Okie dokie.
And hello to Karine and to Ruth. It's wonderful to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Ruth had mentioned that it seems sunny here. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of lights. Not sunny.
Oh. I also have a lot of light, but it is actually fairly sunny. I'm looking out the window. There are a lot of clouds, but it's all there. It's trying to break in.
It's island sunny. It's not prairie sunny, which is actually
yes. Yes, I think that's a really good differentiation.
Hello, Marissa. Hey, Rose.
Hello, Marissa and Rose. Hi. Thanks for joining us.
My voice cracked like I was prepubescent. Okie dokie.
I understand that we have a question from one of our viewers who isn't able to make it to watch us live because she's working, but she always listens to us after.
Hello, Lisa. Hello, Chantel again. No daylight. 12:30 a.m. Where is Chantel? Is she
yes, the Netherlands.
Ah, wow.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Thank you,
and
Chantel.
It's chilly in LA. Yeah, you guys have had some record snow from what I hear.
Really? Did they really? So we must be
Yeah.
having like a frozen belt going up this side of North America because the snow, I don't know if you have snow. I have snow.
I don't have any snow left. It's all melted, but we did have snow last night. But in parts of California, up in the mountains, they had 3 meters of snow. 3 meters, which, you know, for people,
9 feet.
It's actually 10. It's 10 feet because they're 36, because they're 40 inches. Anyway, it's actually exactly 10, but it doesn't.
I actually thought it was 3 feet to a meter.
It's really close.
That was the actual measurement. So that's why
it is 3 feet and 4 inches.
That's just dumb.
I know. Yeah. So
dumb. Why did they even change anything? Anyway. I don't know. Yeah. So
anyway,
snow in LA. So people in LA are like, holy crap, I have to get my 2 sweaters out. I can't imagine.
my cousin and his wife and kids, they're originally from Ontario, and his job took them down to Florida, and they were in Miami, and it was +2 Celsius. and everybody was out in their parkas and all bundled up because it was so unusual for the weather for them. So there you go.
Okie dokie. We just had a spammer. They went after our good friend Corrine.
Ah, jeez.
And I deleted them and didn't block them, so I screwed it up. I should have blocked them. So
that's okay. If they come back, then boom, we are on it.
On them. Yes.
Yeah.
And just to reiterate it again, no psychic word for measure will actually message you during another psychic's live feed, because if they're any good, you'll find them.
You don't need to.
Yeah, that's right. Do that if you know what you're doing. So anyone who messages you, just find your psychics yourself. Anywho, don't let a psychic find you. Don't let a psychic find you. It's crazy.
I mean, unless you're lost.
Unless you're lost. Yes, unless
be open.
If you are a missing person, allow a psychic to find you. Okay.
Absolutely.
Excellent caveat. Absolutely. I apologize. Yep. You're right. I should be more clear.
No problem. Yes. I'm here. I've got your back, Bobbi.
You got me. You got me. When I missed
I've got you.
You betcha. Okay. Yeah, because I can't edit myself here. Wish I could. Anyway. All right. Hello, Cassandra. I don't know if we said hello to you.
I did. We can say twice.
Oh, thank you, Brenda. Brenda likes how I was going to say my husband's name. I guess that's okay. Everyone knows my name. Burn. Gets rid of the snow. I know. I saw him out there. I was like, what the devil is he doing? So I had to video it. Because there he was looking so Canadian in his hockey jersey with his leaf blower.
So I have to confess, I saw Brenda's message and I had completely forgotten about your video because I definitely saw it. I commented on it and I'm like, what the heck is Vern doing?
What is he doing to get rid of snow?
I'm like, this almost sounds kinky, but how does Brenda know about it?
I don't know about getting rid of snow being kinky. I don't know.
You just haven't tapped into the right kinks yet, Bobbi.
Apparently, I've been married too long. Because no. Yes, he was smart and freezing cold, Brenda. That snow flying everywhere. It looks like he's handling it well, but he was like frozen because he was just making so much cold air for himself. Anywho, Anywho, so Sue, one of our viewers who isn't able to come to the live feed because she works on the days that we do the live feed. She watches us on the next day. She asked a question. I thought it was a perfect question. She asked if angels and spirit guides ever work together. And I thought it was kind of funny because here we are doing it.
That's right.
Yeah. Because I tend to gravitate more towards listening to spirit guides for folks And Erin, well, obviously, she's all
I
loving
work
angels.
with angels.
Yeah.
But do they ever overlap?
I have seen overlapping, but
Yeah.
it's more that spirit, because I actually see it as a hierarchy, and spirit guides are here and angels come above. So if an angel intercedes, it's usually because a higher purpose needs to be seen to, or there's higher information.
Interesting.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And it's interesting because the way that I see it, I mean, vibrationally, there is a difference in how fast they vibrate. But I see everybody kind of working together, kind of pitching in. It's like I've been watching way too much Grey's Anatomy. And on Grey's Anatomy, you've got your chief of surgery and you've got your attendings and your fellows and your interns and your nurses and everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. If there's an emergency, everybody's all hands on deck. There's no hierarchy in that. If you're needed, you're there, and it doesn't matter who the heck you are.
Because nobody's going to override the chief surgeon. No one's going to say, hey, no, chief surgeon, you don't need a scalpel right now. I think you need some clamps. No one's going to say that to the chief surgeon.
I've seen it in Grey's Anatomy.
Not in real life. In Grey's Anatomy,
I don't know.
Life.
I can't tell you.
I can't imagine. I don't know. Is there any operating room nurses on right now? Let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. Or surgeons or whoever you are. If
there's an actual
OR
surgeon
experience
watching us right now, I want to know. I really want to know. If you're a surgeon and you're watching a live feed of psychics, I want to know, because I can't imagine you exist.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Actually, I know that they do. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, the way that I see it is it's kind of all hands on deck. Like if part of what a spirit guide is helping you with is something that overlaps with something angel is helping you with, that overlaps with something that ascended masters are helping you with, then it's all hands on deck. They absolutely work together. They, as you said, like they bring different messages, they bring different things, they bring different support. It's like you're not always going to go to one person for help. If your car is broken and it's not working, you're going to go to your mechanic. But if you've broken your legs, don't go to the mechanic.
Probably not. No, because he completely does a different thing.
Exactly. So I see them as all working together, not necessarily with hierarchy, if they're needed.
Okie dokie. All right.
What do you think?
In that scenario, do you see them as doing different things? Like angels do something different than spirit guides do?
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, I do see that for sure.
What do you see then?
Okay. So when I work with angels, I always see them as being able to do kind of anything, like being able to focus on different things. Like if I've got a problem that I'm stymied with, then I go to the angels and I'm like, hey, like take this on for me, or help me see what I need to do, because I'm clearly not seeing anything. So they see a higher perspective. But when I work with spirit guides, I see them as having more focus. So I'll probably have been working with a spirit guide before I start working with angel.
Yeah, I could see that completely and absolutely, because your spirit guides are with you at all times. Little buggers are stuck with you. And
angels can be with you all the time too.
But they don't intervene or intercede unless asked. Where spirit guides are like, holy crap, don't go down there. And you're like, why is my ear ringing? What the fudge? I don't think you'll get that with angels unless you say, angels, I'm going to go down this alley. Could you walk with me? And then they're like, okay, we're in.
Yeah. Or if something is about to happen that is outside of the order of things and not supposed to happen, angels will intercede, and they'll intercede with life and death situations as well.
Even if you do not ask?
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Yeah. One of my most profound angel experiences was an angel keeping me out of a car accident that absolutely would have killed me. So
I was pulled out of a car accident as well, but I do not credit the angels. Credit my dad, which is crazy because he was only dead 3 weeks when it happened.
You can absolutely do that. It's kind of like it'd be kind of like mama bear strength.
I think so, yeah. But as far as I understand, with people on the other side, they okay, sorry, I was just reading someone's question. They actually get help from somebody who is already passed over much longer before. So when my dad helped me, I completely and absolutely believe his mother helped him help me.
Yeah.
Because that is
Totally
actually who I
makes sense.
asked. I said, Daddy,
Totally
please
makes
help me.
sense.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom,
Boom. You were
I
out.
watched the flipping thing, and then all of a sudden, boom. Oh! I was the smallest person in the cab of the truck. So
Yeah.
when all the large people squished and I was, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I know an angel failure. Interesting, Pat. Do tell. What does this mean? Anyway, okie dokie. Marissa,
Yeah, because
I'd
love more information about that
you
because
want more information, Pat? I'm going to go to
I suspect that
Marissa's
there's a
comment
different answer. Yes.
because I mean, give you time,
Yeah.
Pat, to let us know what the heck that's talking about. I know of an angel failure. I think I might know what you're talking about. Anyway, okay, Marissa, in this area, are angels and spirits considered the same thing? No. I wouldn't even call angels and the seraphim the same thing, even though they are. But not entirely.
Seraphim are a type of angel.
Yeah, and they are the closest. They're well, I have heard of them described as like the guards of God. Like they actually are on the perimeter. And I actually, the seraphim and the definition of them, I find changes compared to if you are highly Christian or if you are non-secular.
Yeah.
Or there's many different, it just seems that there are several different definitions, but they are all round about the same sort of thing. But the assertions are so strong that it seems strange. Anywho.
Yeah. And seraphim are not angels that I really work with at all. I personally primarily focus on archangels, and then sometimes we'll work with guardian angels and also with cherubs.
What about individual angels? Are they different from the guardian angels and cherubs and such?
Do you mean like guardian angels?
I guess is guardian angels then the angels that are assigned to individuals?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense because people actually use that moniker an awful lot.
Yeah. The guardian angels.
My grandma's my guardian angel. I hope not. I say. That would be for you.
You can have much bigger clout than grandma as a guardian angel.
Yeah. Grandma's new.
Yeah.
It's like sending an infant to fight a war.
Yeah. Like, please don't do that.
We'll lose quickly, or they won't shoot. They'll be like, it's babies.
Yeah,
maybe that's right. Work.
That's right.
Sarah says they sing holy, holy, holy to God. Yes, I have heard this. Yes, they sing to God. They are of God. They're closest to God. Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I noticed that we missed a question from Rose. I'm just going to pop back up. Have you guys?
That, Pat? I'm sorry.
Have you guys felt the collective shifting lately too? The energy has been so whack. Whack is a great word.
Whack is what is a descriptive word, Rose?
And of course I'm hearing like wiggity whack.
Call me whack.
Yeah. I mean, what I've been feeling is it's been almost like a bit of a roller coaster up and down. But what I've appreciated about it is that there have been opportunities to find your ground in it. It hasn't been like a complete whirlwind where there hasn't been opportunity to ground. So it's like, going down and then coming back up for air and going down and coming back up for air. At least you can get some air before going back down. How about for you, Bobbi? How's it been?
I think it's super individual. I think different ways of energy actually attach or show themselves to different people in different kinds of ways.
Yeah,
and I could maybe because I was actually wondering about it because I had a very painful 2 weeks, but I also fell down a flight of stairs and I tripped over my dog. So, and it's me. So there's that. But I've never I have so much stuff going on in here.
Yep.
So much angst and I know what my full message is. And I have to do it because they keep on throwing stuff at me. They keep saying,
gotta look at it.
I have to do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to, I know what the message is. I hear it in my head right now. I hear it. So I just got to do it. And it's just not like me to do it. So
Yeah,
Okie dokie.
absolutely. And, you know, just to kind of add to what you've said, I think that we all go through different levels of it, so that there's some who are okay to help the people who really aren't okay, and that role switches and changes and adjusts, so that we are never all in a place of complete chaos and everything is falling apart, but we're maybe never all not okay either.
We've said that before, right? Because I'm not having a deja vu.
I don't think we have,
It
but it's
happens a lot. So
do you?
sometimes
Okay.
this is something that's happened. Okay, it might be something that's happened. Okay, so I'm gonna
Cool.
go.
I think well, can we, I mean, like, can we take a moment to tap into that? Because if it's happened for you before, then there's probably something in this moment that we need to pay attention to.
Oh yeah, no,
Can we do
that's
it
I always know
collectively?
when I'm hearing something again. It's like you're reviewing this in your brain. Listen
Okay.
carefully. That's what they
Okay.
do. Yeah, yeah. And I think
Okay.
Deanne's question is one for you to answer.
Okay. So Deanne's asking, how do I know if my guardian angels and the universe and Archangel Michael hear me when I call them to me when I need them? Yeah. So first of all, your angels are always around and always with you. Your guardian angels always with you. They never leave. And one of the things that kind of frustrates me a little bit, it's funny, but the whole idea that your guardian angel is disappointed in you, or like, oh my God, like what next? Like, they just don't. Angels don't have ego. And the idea that you're doing something wrong, or you're doing something bad, or they're going to possibly leave if you don't do something right is fully and completely ego. So while those memes and messages on Facebook or social media are funny and they kind of get a laugh, they're not accurate at all. So your angels are always with you.
What if
Um,
you murder children? Are they standing there going, "That's okay, keep killing them"? Do they do this?
so they're not necessarily going to be condoning what you're doing, but they're always going to help to guide you back to the path of light, right?
If I
Like they're
start killing
always
children, I think I want my angels to be horrifically disappointed in me as a human being.
well, that's ego, and your spirit can be horrifically disappointed in you because they're closer to ego and still maintain ego. But this is, angels are of universe, of source, of God, of that place where we are all one, where there isn't ego. Ego doesn't exist there.
There is not ego, I understand that, but there are rules and regulations. There are certain ways that we need to
Mhm.
conduct ourselves, or
But angels, guardian angels, they don't mete out justice.
I actually see a tiny bit of different. I
Okay, what do you
actually
see?
see when somebody
Mhm.
has taken their own life, they will
Mhm.
come to me with an
Mhm.
angel on either side and sometimes
Mhm.
handcuffs. Golden
Oh,
handcuffs on. And that is to
okay.
show that the angels are saying, okay, you've had to spend some time in the suicide realm. You still haven't learned what you're doing. So we're still, when you
Mhm.
come to visit Bobbi, we need her to know that you
Mhm.
are still under, I'm going to say education, because that's kind of the way
Mhm.
it's shown to me. It's not punishment, it is
Mhm.
more enlightenment.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I mean, I think for me, that's actually like the differentiation. It's not punishment and it's not justice. Like it's not you were wrong or you were bad. It's you need more help. You need
Or
more
you should do
love.
some, you shouldn't have done that.
You need more learning.
Yeah, but that's actually what our penal system is supposed to be. I believe it's what the penal system in Norway is.
Mhm.
So so to my mind, it we could view it as punishment only because
Mhm.
punishment actually kind of by definition is supposed to be a learning process for folks. Do you know? Like when I punished my
Yep.
children when they were younger, I would say,
Yep.
I am you are going to have to learn a lesson here. So I'm going to
Mhm.
have to take something from you so that you
Yep.
can see that your actions led to this. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
absolutely. Yeah, it does. I think that what we're looking at, I mean, I was until you brought your kids into it, which I'm I'm glad that you did because it's helping me to refine what I want to say,
Okay.
is if we're looking at it from like an overall bigger picture, there is unconditional love. With God source universe,
Mhm.
unconditional love. So the
Yeah.
idea of punishing a soul for going through lessons and maybe not getting it is not a reason for punishment, because punishment doesn't exist in unconditional love
I
at
see,
that
but
level.
I unconditionally love my children. But
So
when they
this is,
did things that were incorrect, I would punish
yeah,
them.
you would punish them to keep them safe,
I would
right?
punish
Like if
them
they
so
were
that they could learn that they did something incorrect.
exactly, and ultimately to keep them safe. Like you might give them like a smack on the hand if they were running out into the street, because there needed to be something big enough for them to see, to recognize that that wasn't right and that wasn't okay. And you have unconditional love, but we don't live in a world of unconditional love, right? We live in
Mhm.
a world where there is ego, where there need to be consequences for things because ego is active. But
Yeah.
once you remove ego and everything is loving in an unconditional way, there isn't the same need for punishment, because punishment doesn't exist in
So therein lies the crux,
complete.
actually, because dead people
Yeah,
have ego.
absolutely. Dead people
That's
have
the
ego.
difference. Dead people have
Absolutely.
ego. Yeah.
And
And they need to be told what to do.
yeah, and angels do not. No level of angels have ego. They, like angel, EL, literally means of God. And so there is nothing that is ego based in angels, in archangels, in guardian angels, in cherub, in none of them. None of them
Okay.
have ego.
But okay. I understand and I get it. But the of God actually gives me pause as well.
Okay.
Our introduction to God
Yep.
comes in through the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the book of judgment. There is actually even a book called Judgment.
So,
And when you
uh-huh.
die, I see people going through judgment. And it's not
Okay.
by other folks. It's you looking at the way you lived your life. And
Right.
you need to judge.
So in a form of review, so that your spirit can get everything that it needs. And I think, I mean, I'm going to step back from this a second, and I'm going to say, do you believe that angels exist, or pardon me, do you believe that God exists outside of the Bible? If there was no Bible, if there was no religion, does God then no longer exist?
Well, that's like saying the Bible and Christianity is the only religion.
Right?
Because there is, yeah, no, of course, yeah,
So,
no, of course not. But
so
my point is that actually,
mhm.
even all the stories of the angels come out of the Bible, and only 3 are
Not
even
all of
mentioned, for
them.
goodness sakes.
Not all of them come out of the Bible. I mean, there can be experiences. The way that I see the Bible, and this is coming from somebody who does not have any sort of religious background, this is just my understanding of it, is it was a gathering of stories to help understand what was happening at the time, and to help to make sure that people continued to grow and to function and to survive into some form of society.
Very
I
positive
believe
interpretation.
I believe that is what the Bible is, and that people wrote and shared the understandings that they had at the time. As we grow and evolve, we understand that things shift and change, but those initial understandings maybe have not. And if I look back to what life was like 2000-ish years ago when the Bible was written, survival was very different from what it is now. Really, we don't have a huge amount of natural predators. But at that point, that would have been something that was very real. We have things like antibiotics, and we have medicine and things that help us to live and to survive. Those things weren't present at that time. There are so many different things that have shifted and changed. So is a society that metes out punishment for wrong because that's part of how it has survived, are they going to create something that is full of unconditional love?
Okie dokie. So you went on a whole bunch of totally different things there. Totally different things. Absolutely not, completely, totally different things. Okay, because I'm not even sure which question you want me to answer, to be honest. So, um, I could just go with the last question. Is our
You
society
go for it.
capable of
You go
absolute
for it.
love, of unconditional love?
Mhm.
No, of course not. We're not evolved enough yet. We're not even capable of world peace. We're not
Absolutely.
even
So,
capable of
mhm.
actually a lockdown, for goodness sakes. I mean,
Yep,
we're not capable of a lot of stuff right now because we're really uninvolved.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, given that we look at the world through that lens, that we as humans are incapable of unconditional love, how difficult do you think it would be for people to believe that there is something that's bigger and outside of them that could potentially be completely unconditional love? Because we go based on what our experience is, right? And
Oh, I
unless
see.
we
I
allow
see. So
ourselves
you're saying the depiction of God in the
Mhm,
Bible as,
mhm,
like, let's go with First Testament God, as an
sure.
overlord who
Yep.
would smite you, turn your wife into salt for looking back, stuff like that, tell you to screw your
Yep.
kids because
Yep.
that's the First Testament. Um,
Yep.
the assertion is that that God was like that because people were like that.
Mhm.
Okie
'Cause they
dokie. Well,
had
we
to be.
can, yeah, well, the entire Bible we could dissect in that kind of way, because if you actually look at
Absolutely.
the King James version of the Bible and look at the
Mhm.
history of that,
So
I
what I'm saying is that these are all written experiences that people have had that will
oh, I don't
be
know, I think they're metaphors, but that's fine. I
they
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 could
gotta be
be they could be
metaphors.
metaphors too, but they're basically the understandings that people have of life at a certain time,
Oh, see,
right?
and I disagree. I actually think there were
Okay.
rules that there was
Mhm.
was, actual a thinking that they were trying to push
Yeah, I
on
can see
people
that as well. Yeah,
to.
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know that they were actual individuals. I don't know that Lot actually existed or
Mhm.
Jezebel actually existed. I hope Jezebel did not exist.
Mhm.
She was torn apart by dogs. And the Bible
Yeah,
is really, yeah, it's a great story.
violent.
Great stories. And it's a wonderful book.
Yeah.
I actually see it as metaphoric myself.
Mhm.
And I understand what you're meaning with at the time, this was what the thinking was, because if you look
Mhm.
through the Bible, it can be a little bit offensive if you're a female or if you are
Mhm.
gay,
Mhm.
or a person of color.
Mhm.
But yeah, but actually,
Okay.
because the original idea for myself was the whole angelic thing and
Mhm.
the depiction of God and angels and what they actually might mean to us. Because some
Mhm.
folks might actually think that that we use the term angel because the Bible told us about the term angel. I have heard that before.
So I can understand that that would be why people would say that. Angels have been spoken about in all religions. They do not belong to Christianity. They appear in all sorts of religious texts and all sorts of different experiences because angels do not belong to a religion. They do not belong to the Bible.
Oh, I agree with you completely. I don't think
Yeah.
that religions actually, I think they're a wonderful pathway for people. I
Mhm.
think faith
Absolutely.
is incredibly important, and whatever speaks to you, go for that.
Yeah.
Do that
But
fine.
these things exist outside of religion.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But it's just the monikers and stuff. That's what I mean. And actually, I don't even know if we answered Deanne's question.
Okay, so let's go back to Deanne's question.
Does
So how do
Archangel
you
Michael hear her? How does she know if
so
Archangel Michael hears her?
so what you can do is as long as you ask for him to be there, he hears. Angels are completely multidimensional. They are omnipresent. They can be with me and you and everybody else in the world without problem or without challenge, and there is no problem too big or too small that you can't ask them for help with. Angels always hear you. I think that probably the bigger question is, how do I hear my angels back?
Yeah, I think that's
Because
what Deanne is even asking.
yeah, like how do I hear them back? How do I know that they are helping me? And one of the biggest things is to get out of the way and to not doubt what you're hearing and what you're feeling and what you're experiencing.
Yeah, but then you think, okay, is that them or is that me? Or do I think that they're saying that? Do I like, because if you actually have a conundrum in your
Mhm.
head and you do not know what to do, even if you're
Mhm.
shown what to do, you'll question it because you'll be like, well,
Yeah.
that's what I thought yesterday today.
So anything that is pure and loving and of source and universe or angels, because again, all of these things are without ego. when the messages come through, usually they come through with a feeling of calm, or they'll bring a sense of calm. Even if it's something that you don't want to do, you will feel empowered to do it. So, like the example that I always use is going to the gym. Let's say that I feel really awful about going to the gym. Maybe I've had really bad experiences. The last thing I want to do is go to the gym. And I ask, what is it that I need to do? And the message that comes in is, you need to go to the gym. And it doesn't come through with any sort of shame or guilt or anger, or like, you should do this, or you should have done this years ago, or like, there's none of that. It's always, it's go to the gym. And it comes with a feeling of, I can do that. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Or, I guess so. I don't go to the gym.
Yeah.
Nor would I ever.
Use whatever. Miss Bobbi.
My yoga teacher. Okie dokie. Pat, I don't even know if Pat's still on with us, but I want to address what I thought Pat was talking about. I was correct.
Yeah.
And why didn't they prevent that from happening? If they were really around, that's where she gets upset.
Yeah.
Because Pat has suffered a massive loss.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, angel intervention would have been a wonderful thing at that point.
And the answer was that they couldn't, or they weren't meant to intervene.
Yeah, and I can't imagine that Pat will accept that. To be
No, I
wouldn't either. I'd be pissed off too. And
yeah.
when my dad died, I was pissed at God. I wouldn't even pray to God, because I sat in a bathroom and begged God to keep my dad here. And he like died as I was begging, or they pulled the plug on him. And that made me really, 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 really mad for years.
Yeah.
It made me mad.
Absolutely.
But with that,
Mm-hmm.
that was a choice that humans were making.
Mm-hmm.
And Pat is dealing with that same sort of idea. It's a choice a human is making. So if that choice is the one that was supposed to happen, then yes, the angels will just allow it to happen the way it's happening. But when it's not something that you think should have happened, it's very difficult to be okay without angel intervention.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have so much empathy and compassion for that, because part of what that comes down to is the experience of life not being fair.
Yeah, I actually think it has a little bit even more to do, considering the person that we're speaking of, because they show up at our live feeds uninvited all the time.
Okay.
I think it was more that they refused to hear anything other than what they were hearing.
Yeah, that's entirely possible as well. I mean, at that point, we're also talking about free will.
Yeah, and actually at this point, I would actually even say, Pat, and this is said with massive amounts of love, if angels couldn't stop it, you couldn't. That's actually, oh golly. If you want to come for a hug, come for a hug.
Yeah.
Pat's very physically close to me. Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay. Sorry. Pat needed to have that addressed, I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Brenda. Brenda feels bad because I fell. How'd that happen? Because I'm me.
Yeah.
There's a place to hurt yourself. I'm going to find it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a shockwave.
Yeah. So Rose has a really interesting question.
Okay.
Do your guides make deals with other people's guides, and can you get a say in it?
That's a really good question. As far as I know, no. No. I do, though, believe that your guides, if you are with somebody, your guides will know each other.
Yeah.
Like, my guides know my husband's guides, because they're all stuck in the same room together going, can you believe that? Holy crap. Yeah, she said that. Yeah. That's what they're doing.
Absolutely.
They know each other very well.
Yeah. And I believe that we come in with a certain amount of contracts for different things that we want to learn and grow and experience in this lifetime. And that our souls, before they came in, have made agreements and contracts as well, to that effect.
Julie has a good question.
Okay, awesome.
You be here. Hello, come Julie. Those that we know who have passed, would they be our spirit guides or guardian angels? I get that all the time. Do you get that all the time? We actually kind of we brushed upon it. No.
Yeah.
No, and you don't want them as your spirit guides or guardian angels because they're just as dumb as you. They have a mind. Sorry, I mean that with love. But we're not down here going, I'm solving all the world's problems. We're down here going, am I part of the world's problems?
Yeah.
So you don't want someone who's just as confused about what the heck to do, saying, oh, go through this left, or oh, that one.
Yeah. Absolutely. Your deceased loved ones will come in as your deceased loved ones.
Yeah, and
right?
they will look after you. They will do stuff for you, and they will. I mean, they can't stop you from walking down that hall, but they sure as hell can drop something in front of you. So you go, what's that?
Yeah. That's right.
Because they can get very physical.
If you want big change or big help, do you start with the person at the bottom or do you go to the person at the top?
Depends on who's closest, but yes. Depends on if I want to get, in crap or anything like that.
Right. But generally, if you're wanting to see big change, you're going to have to go up higher because the people down at the bottom, they have about the same resources as you have. But if you go up higher, then they have more resources. So
okay. Now, Chantel have you heard of Celestia? Celesta?
You know what? I haven't heard of that, but I think that's the place that you were talking about where they go to, where souls who have committed suicide have crossed over, where they go to.
I call it the suicide realm. No one's ever given me a name like Celesta.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I thought I'd heard it by now.
Yeah, I'm not aware that I wasn't aware that there was a name, but it makes sense that there is like a specific name. So cool.
Yeah, and it's funny she calls it a beautiful realm too, because I've been there. I was taken there. It was like being in a bar. I would not call it beautiful.
Sorry, like being in a bar?
In a bar. Yeah, it was just like being in a bar.
Interesting.
Yeah, and everyone around me displayed how they had done that to themselves. Because I was taken there by someone very close to me who had done that. And it was very much like Beetlejuice. And it could be the way that John wanted to display it to me, so I knew exactly where I was, exactly what was happening. But that's the way it was. It was not beautiful. It wasn't yucky, but it wasn't where I wanted to hang out, because you don't want to hang out in a bar too long. You want to be intoxicated there so you can handle it. So, yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't go to bars because I don't drink. So, you see this drunk. It's so much worse. Okay. Okay. That's funny that Sarah brings this up, because I had a client talk a lot about the Aurora Borealis yesterday and the power within it.
So just to kind of preface that, here on Vancouver Island, we don't usually see the Aurora Borealis, also the Northern Lights, but earlier this week we were able to, and we have had a lot of photographers capturing pictures.
I didn't even know. But you can see it in Tofino, because people actually make pilgrimages to Ucluelet or Tofino to see them, as far as I know.
I had no idea. Yeah, because they were taking pictures of it down in Qualcomm and Parksville.
If you screw while it's happening and make a baby, then apparently that baby is very special. And that's why I know people will go there to Tofino, Ucluelet to screw on the beach during the Northern Lights to make a special baby. Oh, people, especially people from certain cultures, will do a lot of things to conceive at certain times under certain conditions for optimum baby health and baby intelligence. And
I was aware of that, but I didn't realize that there was a connection to the Aurora Borealis. That's so cool.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah. Anyway, so I've seen them and not been able to see them, which really is very frustrating. I have to go, oh yes, isn't it beautiful? I don't see anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe you've just not been in a place where they've been active enough to be able to see them.
Everybody else on the ferry was watching them, and I was like, what is everybody seeing? I was looking all around. I thought, what kind of moron am I? Can't even see. It looked like tiny little flickers in darkness to me. It was not big, beautiful colors. Or I was so disappointed. Everyone else was like, wow. I'm like, What are you people saying?
maybe because you see so much awesome stuff that many people don't see.
That they took that
Maybe
away?
yeah.
Not fair.
Well, maybe they were just kind of giving everybody else a chance to see awesome things. We're like,
Okay,
Bobbi, you see
that would
cool
be
stuff
like,
every day.
since you get to hang with angels and be all celestial and stuff, if they didn't let you have orgasms, that's what that would be like. That's a cruelty. There's punishment right there. So yeah, I agree. I don't know why. Your conversation reminds me of an esoteric trap.
Yeah,
Wow, Sarah.
that's what it was feeling like. It just kept going around and around, and we weren't getting anywhere. I'm glad that you made the change to go back to our question.
I've heard that
Awesome.
we're all on Earth to learn. Yes,
To
I
learn.
have heard that too. That we are all on the Earth to learn.
Yep.
I'm on
Yeah.
Earth to learn how to use my mouth properly. We live different lives elsewhere, and we can be good here, but be someone else in another dimension to learn.
Yeah.
Heaven is nothing but love. Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have actually, somebody said to me that they had heard that this existence
Mhm.
and an existence in another realm can
Mhm.
actually be happening simultaneously. And I couldn't get my little brain around that because
Absolutely.
I would think that my soul would mark it. I would know.
Would just say
Another
that, hey,
me
like,
was existing right now in the fairy realm. Well,
right?
first off, I'd be like, well, that sucks. I can't fly here. Well, not like with wings. I could get on an
Yep.
airplane, but I
Yep.
don't wanna. So I don't. Have you ever heard that one that we actually can coexist in different realms at the exact same time?
Absolutely. I've heard that one. And I actually believe that we coexist in all different times at the same time too. That time is very linear, and
Mhm.
it's a human construct to help
Yeah,
us to understand.
yeah.
But I believe that time can be happening concurrently.
Oh
So
well, yeah.
in this moment. So then if time happens concurrently, why couldn't we exist in another realm as well? Because we're existing in another time.
Hmm. Hmm. But in the other time, I'm still Bobbi. In another
Mhm.
realm, I might be Esmeralda.
Yeah.
So how can I be? How can my soul
Yeah.
be conducting herself as Bobbi right now and be learning all the lessons of Bobbi, but still at the exact same time be learning as Esmeralda and
Yeah.
actually, because I spent a lot of time with my soul and me
Yeah.
not know. I can't
Yeah.
imagine that that could be true.
What if our soul was kind of like an octopus with different tentacles in different times
Oh no, I
and in
get
different
that. I get
realms?
all of that. I totally get it. But I
Yeah.
would think you would know because the soul is the constant. Just like
Mhm.
I know past lives.
Mhm.
I get inklings of them, and then I get the feeling, and then I know, okie dokie, this kind of happened. This was a place I
Yep.
was at. So my
Yep.
thinking is because I know that I would know if I was still
Mhm.
existing in another realm at this
Mhm.
exact time. Does that make
Have
sense?
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. And I wonder if there's opportunity to explore and to go to soul level and specifically ask the question, where else do I exist right now? And specifically ask, because it kind of reminds me of parents. And I'm going to go into sex because we always do. When a child is 3, they might ask a question that's kind of asking about sex, but you're not necessarily going to pull out the book and tell them everything. You might just tell them enough to satisfy the curiosity that they have at the time in the moment. But as they get older, of course, they ask questions. You're going to be able to have conversation with them at a completely different level. What if the connection that we have with soul is what we are capable of experiencing and understanding at that moment? But if we ask those questions, it's like, oh, well, yeah, since you're asking, what
Well, then we're
do you know
moving
what I mean?
forward. Then we're moving
Yeah.
forward, though. So that's a growth of the
Okay.
soul
Mhm.
rather than the soul having to happen at the exact same time. So are you saying a different thing?
Yeah, I think I'm saying a different
Okay.
thing.
Because
I think I'm
I'm like,
saying a
that's a
different
different thing,
thing.
isn't it?
So, okay, okay.
Okay.
So what I'm suggesting is let's say we have like this octopus type energy. And let's say that the head of the octopus is like the overall like master is the word I want to use. It's the wrong word, but is the overall soul. And each one of the legs is in a different experience. It's in this current experience, it's in past life experiences, it's in other realm experiences. And everything that we have feeds up to the main part. And maybe the parts that are directly connected to each other. So, like in Earth times, we can connect with what's happened before, we can connect with future lives that haven't quote unquote happened yet. But maybe there are aspects that are kind of kept from us because it's in the bigger overall part of the soul.
Okay, it's possible, I would think.
See, when I look at stuff like this, I always ask, am I limiting myself because I'm a human? Because for
Well, of
me,
course you are.
time has only existed in this way, right? So then I ask, are there other ways that this could be happening? And why would I limit my belief to something that I know is possible when there are so many things that could be possible as well?
I see. Okie dokie. But okay, I
Mhm.
understand that and I understand the
Mhm.
thinking behind it. But
Mhm.
for me, that actually makes it so that everything is at all possible, so nothing
Mhm.
lands.
How do you mean?
Well, if everything is possible, then
Mhm.
every variable is possible. So there's nothing
Mhm.
that is is. Does that make
Mhm.
sense? Nothing
Yeah.
actually is then. Everything
Yeah.
is just a variable at all times. I'm
So
not into that.
so so I guess
Not.
what I'll say with that is I also firmly believe that any time that we have major choices and decisions, and in this lifetime I chose to go in this direction, there is another lifetime that branched off where I went into in the different direction.
Oh, that's multidimensional.
Right? That is something that I firmly believes happens. So like so when you talk about variables,
That's
I mean, like,
space-time continuum, though. That's science.
but I absolutely believe that that is possible and
Oh,
that's
it
something
is. It
happening.
is. You could go to a
So
scientist and they would tell you that that is possible. But if
yeah,
you said, "Does my soul still exist in the fairy realm, in this realm, and over here?" They would say,
yeah.
"What, crazy lady?" That's what they would say.
Yeah, and I would say, well, of course that's something that's possible
Yeah, and they
because
say, "What,
why
crazy
not?
lady?"
because because why not? Why wouldn't it be possible?
Oh, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just
Mhm.
saying that there are certain things that make sense to me. So,
Mhm.
and I, yeah, I'm not saying it's not possible at all,
Mhm.
at all. I would think we would be aware, or those of us who
Mhm.
actually deal with our souls on a regular basis would be aware
Mhm.
because they
Mhm.
make me aware of who I used to be.
Yep.
And I actually see the, yeah, I see the growth of the human pattern going like that myself.
Absolutely.
And I see the
Absolutely.
souls actually
Mhm.
interchanging between not being in 2 places at once, but that's just me.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean I'm
I
right.
think
That's
I
the way I
think
feel.
actually it brings a really cool question up. I think that there's opportunity to go to soul and say, "Hey, like what have I maybe not experienced yet?"
See, but that they're in that, especially with
Mhm.
the Orichellians that we're trying to help, to me, that
Mhm.
almost makes it so that there's no grounding. It's a firework rather than a tree. Does that make sense?
Mm,
Like, there's
yeah,
no actual
absolutely.
base to it where you can attach. If everything
Mhm.
is possible, then what the heck do you start with?
Okay, so like the way that I would relate that would be to like working with students who are graduating, where it used to be, you funneled into a path and that was kind of what you stayed with, and that was what you did career wise for your entire life. And now things have completely opened up. So I mean, we do see this in our world in different ways and in different contexts, particularly given that our world has expanded so much and the opportunities have expanded so much, that I think that we find ground in different ways. Like we can have surety in the fact that we are here in this moment and in this place and in this space, but also at the same time explore other possibilities of what it could be as well. I don't
Oh,
think that it
I agree,
negates
but
the
I
the
think
fact of
especially when you're
coming
starting
back.
out, you need something to root. You need grounding. Because I honestly,
Okay.
even if I'm trying to give a reading, if I'm not grounded, I can't
Mm,
help. I'm too,
that's very true.
I can't quite hear anything the way I'm supposed to. It's
Yeah.
just too crazy. So that's what
Yeah.
I mean by that. That it, I think that's a great idea to move towards, but
Mhm.
I think that it just makes everything so vast that it doesn't bring it down to anything for humans to actually start with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And what I would say for myself is the idea of something vast is actually incredibly exciting. So perhaps that's part of where we're coming from, different
I
perspectives
think we
as
have to
well.
agree to disagree because we are once again
Yeah.
having another esoteric
In the
conversation.
place, in the
Yeah.
place. So where are we going next?
I'm not sure. You go ahead because I picked a couple and you got to look at the
Okay.
clock. You have 5 minutes.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So Sarah has a really wonderful point here. She said, I ask angels for their messages in ways that I can interpret. Yeah, I think that's a really wonderful thing to do. And I mean, I know that you've spoken about this in relation to spirit, that there are different things that they do that let you know. So, you know, having things in your repertoire, if you see something, this is what it means, can also be really helpful too.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was reading someone else's question, so I did not hear the question.
Oh,
So
okay. Sarah's question was, I ask angels for their messages in ways that I can
in ways I
interpret.
can interpret. Oh yeah. That's how
Yeah,
you do it.
yeah,
That's the only thing you do.
absolutely. That
Yeah, you
that
say,
totally
show it
makes
to me
sense.
outside of me, so I know I'm not cuckoo.
Yeah,
That's what I say, at least.
yeah.
And I do use the word cuckoo. Okie dokie. Hello, Tracy. I don't think we've said hello to you. Hello,
Hi,
Christine. We
Tracy.
have not
It's
said
great
hello
to
to you
see you.
either. Angel
Yes.
numbers everywhere.
Yeah.
Hello, Julie. Hello, Shelley. Hello,
Mm.
Janess. Janess, yes, I call that the expiry date.
Yeah. So
And I always talk
Janess,
about if it was written on the bottom of our foot, how people would just walk around their lives like this. That's why you don't know it.
yeah, absolutely. Did we want to read Janessa's comment so everybody's on the same page with us?
Yes, you go right ahead.
Sure. Listening to other psychics, we hear that nobody leaves their life until it is their time and their plan, including suicide. This makes more sense to me if we believe we have a plan for this life. Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree.
Yeah, I agree too. Yeah.
Yeah, and Fabio, I just wanted to say hello, welcome. Not sure why this channel's in my recommendation, but
never
Fabio
sniffed the
says
seat.
hi.
What does that even mean? I think that's great. I don't think I've ever sniffed a seat. I don't think so. I've looked, I've brushed them off. I don't think I've sniffed one. So yeah, me either. Okay.
Yeah.
You're in good company.
So Christine has a really awesome question.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You can communicate with people who have passed due to suicide. Absolutely. Just like all folks on the other side, they are available to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have someone on the other side that you want to make sure that they're okay because they did this themselves, ask them to send you a dime, a quarter, something like that. Even make it like, can I have a nickel, please? Because all the other dead people are leaving dimes. Make yourself known by a nickel because they'll do that. Mine do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and Fabio's just asked if the show is live or pre-recorded. We are live. Absolutely. We are 100% live.
We are live right now. Tomorrow, it'll seem like a pre-recorded.
Yeah, that's right.
It'll be live.
Oh, I just want to say to Deanne too. Deanne says, I have to say, I did go to the gym in 2019 for the first time. Congratulations. COVID hit, never went back, and have a prepaid card and have had some weird push for me to go back. Absolutely. Take that as a sign that you're on the path and you're on the right track.
Yeah, let's see if they have yoga classes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Astral projection. Excellent. Thank you, Sarah. Astral projection is a way to visit other realms, but you are within. You're still that one person body. What if you run into yourself?
Yeah, absolutely.
What if I run into little fairy Bobbi?
You guys would have a party.
Yeah. Oh, we'd clash. I'd be like, I'm Bobbi. She'd be like, I'm Bobbi. Okie dokie. Oh, really? Amber, the West Coast medium in Nanaimo, says she is living another life right now in Texas.
In Texas. That's interesting.
It is.
That's not something. Yeah, I've not had experience with having the same life in a same life. You know what I mean?
No, because I got the one soul. So,
That's really interesting. But that's really interesting. That's cool. In order for her to have said something like that, I'm sure that she's got something that goes with it. So that's cool.
Absolutely must. Would have to, I would think.
Yeah.
Who is the person in Texas? Does she give the name of the person in Texas? Does the person in Texas know?
Yeah.
She also lives in Nanaimo.
Absolutely.
I know I used to have a doppelganger.
I love Sarah's comment. I would ask them to leave $100.
Good luck. We've tried that, Sarah. Tried that.
Yeah, I know, but inflation is a thing. So
no. I get dirty loonies from my dad because my daughter yelled at him and said, "Step it up, Grandpa, inflation." And so we get dirty loonies, but it's a coin. It has to be a coin. If they gave me $100 bill, it would blow away. Or I'd be
unless they tucked it under something.
Yeah, I you know what? I'm gonna ask for $100 bill, Sarah, and I hope you and I both get them. Let's do it.
Yeah, start checking your pockets.
Yes, for $100 bill. It's actually kind of perfect that Sarah is the last one. I would ask for them for $100, and we are at 4:30.
4:30.
Do you want to tell the folks why you have to leave, Erin?
I don't know. I love that. Sarah said manifest in progress, and that's actually how I'm going to leave it. That's how I'm going to leave it as well. I have to leave because I have a manifestation in progress that I have to go and address.
Eggs $1.99 per dozen.
Awesome. That's perfect.
It's green.
Well, I think that was the most unusual Oracle chats that we've ever had.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah. No, thank you guys. Thank you for joining us for the adventure that was today.
Thank you so much for coming, everyone. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Yeah. Yeah, we're grateful. And thank you for your questions as well. It's always great hearing from you.
Yes. Are you ready, Freddie?
Yes, we're ready. Shall we?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Namaste.
Namaste. Oh, we almost did it.
Almost at the same time. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
Thank you. Have a great night.